Hello and welcome back to the YouTube channel. Many of you that have been regular subscribers, you by now noticed, or maybe you haven't, that I've kind of changed the name of the channel. I originally had called it Comic Books and Anime. That was almost too generalized. I thought, I'm not getting enough subscribers. I'm getting a lot of hits, but I'm not getting many subscribers. So I was thinking maybe my channel is too generic of a term. So I just gave it a simple, quick, name change to see if maybe I can get some more new subscribers. Maybe some people were kind of put off by the fact it was too generic of a channel name. And besides, I never really felt comfortable. It almost like it felt too generic. So that's why I changed the name a little bit. I'm trying some new things. By the way, you notice I've been trying some new things. I've been trying not just anime and comic book things. I'm doing many other things. Things that interest me still, and maybe hopefully interest some of you subscribers. It's still gonna be like comic book, anime, and along that realm, and movies and video games and whatnot. But trying new things out, and hopefully it'll take. Okay, now let's get to this theme. Today is we're gonna be doing a anime and commentary on That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime, episode number 14. And we pick up where we left off last time. A battle was fixing to break out. And sure enough, there's going to be a battle in this one. And Gemuld, we get to see finally, he's entered the scene. He's having kind of a fit. He seemed like kind of a schemer. I guess he kind of is, but he's not really, as we quickly learn, he's not really a good schemer. He's more or less almost like a backstabbing high schooler that's like trying to like turn friends against each other or something. He's like, he's not really good at it. You quickly realize that, he's got a little bit of power. He's somewhat powerful. He's obviously working for someone else, but he's really not too confident in his own skills. He's kind of whiny. And it's obvious that he's not running the show. He's really way over his head in the situation. It becomes easily identifiable as this episode goes along that he is not in control. He's somewhat powerful, but he's really out of his element here. This situation, this little battle is quickly gone way beyond him. It's almost kind of funny in a way. But he's kind of a sad character. He looks somewhat kind of cooler in previous episodes, but in this episode he's clearly revealed to be kind of incompetent. Or maybe semi-competent. Semi-competent because, he did actually make a Orc Lord. So, but he never gets to reveal who he's working for. He's kind of making threats. He's like, kind of whining, having a little fit. He's almost like a jilted like schoolgirl or something. He's like, just like wailing and throwing his hands around like, you're ruining everything. Like, I hate you all. Yeah, he's just having a fit, which is kind of funny, in the midway in the battle, like he's in the middle of like both sides just sitting there like, but he quickly doesn't realize that he's actually making fun of the orcs. And, he's like putting them down. He's putting everybody down. He's like, like constantly putting everybody down. So he has no friends in this battle. I don't think he ever sees it until the end. No, he literally doesn't see. More on that later, but he literally does not see that he has no friends in this battle. I mean, he's running his mouth towards everyone. And we get to see that Gemuru, we get to see Gemuru finally realizes that he's been had. Gemuld is basically not on his side, and he basically insults him, and even insults the orcs, the Orc Lord, even he's just Gemud's really incompetent. There's nothing more else you can say really about him. He's obviously got power, but he has no brains. He's just more or less following somebody else's plan, and he's kind of messed it up because he's really making a mess of things, and everybody's kind of sitting around watching it. Well, finally, Gemuld actually does have some power, and he tries to take out, Gemuru and his lizardmen. Well, I'll give him credit to the lizardmen. They are, down to the end. I'll take, they're like Secret Service. They literally, I'll take a bullet for my man, and they literally, they will take a bullet for their leader. In this case, a giant, energy bolt, and they take it head on, and they protect their leader. However, the lizardmen are about to be done in, and and obviously Gemuld has power, and he's wielding it pretty effectively. Obviously, somebody's giving him powers. I mean, he's at least got that, but it becomes really quickly apparent that Rimuru finally jumps in. He's not really going to let anybody get killed. Especially somebody that's on his side and helping him out. He deflects everything Gemuld throws at him. It quickly becomes obvious that Rimuru is literally way out of this dude's class. And he kind of walks up to him, he's kind of talking to him. I thought that was hilarious. And eventually he just Rimuru comes to the same conclusion we are, that this guy's an idiot, and just starts kicking his ass, literally just kicking him all over the place. It's like some high schooler picking, going into a kindergarten class, kicking a kindergartner around. I mean, that's a bad analogy, but it's just somebody that's totally out of your class, and they're running their mouth dirty, and beat it, kid. I mean, that it's literally just, it's obvious that Rimuru is just, he's completely could overpower this guy. There's nothing this guy could do, Gemuld could do to him, but just the look on his face, he's like a spoiled child, no, you're ruining everything. That was hilarious. He's on the ground, just just cursing and yelling at everyone. He's having a complete meltdown and a fit. And even gets so far, he never even decide. He never learns his lesson. He even's just berating and yelling at the Orc Lord, and into them, and he you got to help me. You got to, I'm losing. Come on, step in there. Do something, you idiots. And all this stuff. Well, they do something. The Orc Lord finally, he was already ticked off before, but when he did that and seen that, Gemuld was, Gemuld was no longer in charge of the show, he quickly, decides to do something about that. And I thought that was great. Because I got to be honest, I was tired of Gemuld. Gemuld was, he needed to go. So he finally eats him, like the orcs have been doing, and he transforms into an Orc Lord, and he goes full on, powers up, and eventually a battle breaks out with the orcs. Eventually a battle breaks out with the ogres, and they try to take this guy out, and they do a very good job. I mean, they're a really A-class fighting unit. They do a good job taking him out, but this guy is just so he's he's an A-class monster now. They try to chop his head off, take pieces off of him, slice him in half, and all this kind of stuff, and he just starts regenerating. They cut his head off, and he just regenerates like it's nothing. He's just sitting there laughing at him, and he's as his head's coming back together again. He's just you can't hurt me. I'm going to eat you all. I will eat everything and everyone. Blah blah blah. And the Orc Lord thinks this is the best you got. I'm taking over. This is he's completely power hungry, and in more than one way. And that's kind of funny, but you know what I mean, because he loves to eat things. But eventually Rimuru say, hey guys, back up. I got this. He clearly identifies that this guy's everybody was throwing everything at him. Ranga was even attacking him. They go all out, and they can't hurt this guy. Where Rimuru decides, guys, back up. I got this. I can take this guy out. Well, the fact that you actually get to see something, they really haven't referenced this, but maybe they reference it in the books or whatever. But I feel like I missed something, because they reference he can go into an autopilot mode, because he talks to he even refers to it as his partner, the computer or whatever. And he says hey, take over, go into autopilot, take this guy out. And sure enough, they reference it like something else has been mentioned that maybe got left out in the anime that was in the book. Maybe parts, sometimes that happens, but I get the feeling like something was missing. As a viewer of the anime that hasn't read the book, like I missed something, but because as far as I know, I don't think that's ever been referenced that he can like he can go to like an autopilot fighting mode, and sure enough, he's just like like viewing this as the battle's going on, like almost like a viewer, even though it's him. And for a while, it's doing great, but eventually it hits a point where he tries like a fire attack, and the fire attack fails, and eventually Rimuru says, like, you know what, you do a great job, but let me take back over. I think I know how to handle this. And it's like, and sure enough, it looks really dire, because he's got him grasped in his hand. He's like he's about to like eat him or kill him or something. But obviously he's going to eat him, and that's his plan. But as it turns out, Rimuru had that same plan. He's like, you know what, we're both very similar, so let's just see who can eat who first. And he starts just like devouring him. And eventually, before he can really react, he's already like covered over, like, oh god, like you're trying to eat me, like, really? This is what it feels like. This is horrible. Like, he's like all over him and devouring him. And pretty much the next few scenes is just them back and forth, just like him regenerating and trying to stay one step ahead of Rimuru, but Rimuru is just like overwhelming him. I mean, it's obvious that his power is I forgot what his absorbing power is at the moment. He's clearly going to win. It's obvious. And but however, I like the fact that I thought it would just be he ate him and that would be that. But no, it turns out, and I like this part. You actually get to see a little bit more about the origin of the Orc Lord. That at one time he was a pretty good guy. He's not evil. He became evil due to various circumstances, but at his core, he really wasn't that bad of a person. He was actually a pretty good guy. And you get to see how he just went down, Primrose Lane. He went the total wrong direction due to, you see that his people were experiencing some kind of like drought. They were starving to death. And that's why when Gemuld found him, he was just out in the middle of nowhere. He was out looking for food. I hate the part where like he's feeding because he can regenerate. He's like feeding like his the other orcs like his own body parts because like they had no food. It was just kind of wow. It's kind of sad. And like Rimuru, you get to see him like he's conversing with the Orc Lord, and they're kind of talking as they're fighting. But it's obvious at this point that Rimuru has pretty much won. He's fixing to inevitably win, and I love the fact where he finally tells the Orc Lord, you can't beat me. I'm going to eat you. But, however, I want you to know, I'm going to eat all your sin. Not just you, I'm going to eat all your sins and all the evil. Yeah, it's all going to be all right, And kind of the Orc Lord, he comes back to his senses. He kind of like realizes all the evil's gone. He's back to the way he used to be. And he kind of almost is like accepts the fact, you know what? He eventually, and you get to see the scene where he's like in his lands looking, I guess, back the way it used to look. And, he's like, just like he's, like, thank you for showing me this, and he's thanking Rimuru and he's even crying to him. He's like, thank you for, because he's even thankful that he said that you'll eat my sins as well. Because like, you could clearly tell this guy was really good at one point. The drought, whatnot, all these this bad path he went down. He clearly is repentive over it. He didn't want to go down that route. Yeah, he's not, like I said, he's not a bad dude. He was taken advantage of and more or less used, and he is completely repentive. And I felt that was a really cool ending to this this episode. It really made it worth watching, and eventually you get to see he's absorbed. And Rimuru, everything, there's like this big mound of like slime, and eventually pops and like, boop, like, and then the little computer thing in his head, I can't remember what, it more or less, it's like the battle's ended, like, you won. Like, and sure enough, he disappears and he comes floating down, and like everybody's celebrating, like, yeah, we beat him, yeah. And the orcs are like, well, our leader is dead. But as we get to find out that the orc, the hunger or whatever, disease or whatever thing that was affecting them completely, it was annihilated as well, so they're back to normal. they're no longer tainted by the hunger or whatever disease I'll call it. And we can see, I like the fact Rimuru walks up to the orcs, ogres. Walks up to the ogres and says, "Look, we had a deal. Once this ended, you guys can go on, go start an ogre village again." And they're like more or less decide, the ogres get together and they say, "You know what? We want to serve you. We want to serve you the rest of our life. You've done good to us. You're a good leader. We want to stick with you." And I thought that was great, and you even get to see like Chiron. Like that scene was hilarious. I love the way they do that. I know it's really perverted, but it is so funny. Like she loves to throw her boobs all over Rimuru, whether he's in slime form or in his human form. He like just loves to like use him as a boob rack. Boob rack, you know what I mean? It was hilarious, and I love the way they do those scenes. It's hilarious, but it's kind of sexy and hilarious at the same time. That was pretty much the end of the episode. It kind of ends with the ogres all having a good laugh and like as I said, Rimuru is getting a getting a boob hat as it turns out. I can't wait for the next episode. I guess eventually either he's going to send the orcs packing or he may have them to join his clan, because really, I guess they really had nowhere to go because, like I said, they were on the verge of annihilation just like the ogres, they were more or less used. So I'm going to assume, I don't know definitely, but I'm going to assume he's going to kind of incorporate them into his group. I'm guessing, considering the knowledge he knows now of how they were used, they really weren't evil. I could see that happening, but I don't know. I don't know if that would go too good. I don't know if that would gel too well with the rest of the group because, like I said, the ogres kind of don't really like the orcs, even though he may explain a little bit to them. I don't know how well that'll work, but I don't know. Knowing Rimuru, it'll probably work out. And I'm looking forward to seeing that episode next week. Anyway, that's all for this episode. Please remember to subscribe if you're a new, viewer. I hope you like these episodes, or at the very least, like the episode. Anyway, that's all for next time. Catch you later.